I invite you to find the comfortable place you like to get to for a time of reflection. Usually that means relaxing physically and resting your mind. I'm going to share some affirmations today for our meditation. We'll have a little silence at the end. I seek to find the blessings in all things. I bless all the pieces and parts of every day, and I'm open to all my blessings. I affirm my power of elimination to release thoughts, ideas, and behaviors not in service to my higher good as I become aware of them. I release my impulse to value events, circumstances, requests, requirements as either beneficial or troublesome. I release my tendency to invest in my feeling of frustration by seeing events as inconveniences to me. More things I must do. I release the contempt I express regarding the things I claim I have to do. I affirm my willingness to cooperate with life. I affirm my power of love to approach any situation as an opportunity to both contribute and to grow. I willingly do what is mine to do. I affirm my powers of imagination and understanding to gain the clarity of wisdom, to know what is mine to do. I call upon the power of strength for the patience and perseverance to see it through. As my body gains strength by working with the attractive force of gravity, my character is fortified by saying yes to the attractive force of life. My confidence grows with each commitment I fulfill. My service revealing my purpose with increasing clarity. I affirm my power of zeal to overcome the inertia of habits which distract me from my good. I choose the path of my passion, moving toward my heart's desire despite the appearance of difficulties. I am willing to risk discomfort. I am willing to experience clumsiness. I am willing to tolerate the messiness of my creative process. I affirm the power of my faith to believe in me. I affirm the power of my faith to know I am worthy. I affirm the power of my faith to know I am capable of responding to all of life. I affirm the power of my faith to demonstrate the unfolding of the Creator expressing as me. I bless my life. Feeling, expressing, and sharing my gratitude for the gift of being and the opportunity to move. I aspire to move with grace. I am a blessing. Life is a blessing. I am grateful. Amen. Let's take those thoughts into some silence. I am a blessing. You are a blessing. Life is a blessing. I am grateful. Amen. Thank you, Travis. Good morning. Happy November. November is the month where at least I delve into the power of elimination. The 11th of our 12 powers, if you look at things from a calendar basis. We call it elimination. Renunciation is what Charles Fillmore calls it in the book, The 12 Powers. Renouncing or renouncing the thoughts that don't serve us through denials of what appears to be true but is not true, and affirmations of what is true. Of course, you get to decide, for the most part, what is true and what is not true. I release anything and everything that no longer serves my unfolding good. Come back to that in a second. For a minute, I just have to give a little shout out to Thaddeus. I mean, just you don't have to raise your hand, but can you hear? If I would have asked you, is Thaddeus a disciple before I said that, how many of you would have said, yeah, sure? It's not a name. You know, we know Peter, we know John, we know Andrew, we know Philip. At least I'm more familiar with them. But Thaddeus, I don't know too much about Thaddeus. But he represents the expulsion of negative thinking. The color, russet. Big reveal. My big potato, my russet potato. You know, I usually go with brown, but it's really more russet, more like your shirt. I know, you have zeal and russet working together, a zeal for elimination. Good energy. You know, the color thing is I don't really actually know. It's possible it's just made up. What's that? Auras. Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't understand. But what I do understand is that the meaning I give things matters. So if by focusing on the color of russet, it helps me to get clear on the power of elimination, and I can remind myself of that and use that as a tool or a guide, then it has all the meaning it needs. And if you have a different color that works for you, use it. It's up to you. It's one of the things I love about unity as a faith basis. We'll talk about that again in a second, too. I'm also going to talk about the elimination. You know, we have a body part associated with all the powers. The base of the spine, the lower abdomen. I'm going to come back to that because I want to talk about honesty. But before that, I'm going to let you know what my talk title is. In case you don't know, get clarity to let go. Let go to get clarity. So now, there's a little thing that's been churning in my consciousness for a few months now, and it's just this sequence of events about honesty leading to clarity, leading to better decisions. And you need to be decisive, but when you're clear, you're decisive. Like, I'll give an example of that. Christmas is coming. Anybody Christmas shop? Yeah. Most of us do some shopping at some point in time, and I've done it different ways. Some people talk about the stress of Christmas, and specifically the stress of Christmas shopping and making sure that you get the right gift for the right person. And I've found myself at different times in my journey in a mall. Remember when malls used to be a thing? We've eliminated most of them. I guess they weren't serving our good. I joke. I don't know about that. They find different forms. Some of it's on my computer. I'd be in the mall, and I have this idea of all these people I want to get gifts for, and I'm panicking a bit. I didn't know then my mantra of having a sense of urgency without being urgent. I didn't have that tool then in my consciousness, so I was just being urgent. Like I said, panicking a little. Oh my God. And then you're looking at things like, is this the right thing for them? And then and so it was not a good experience for me. I contrast that to shopping with a list, where I have clarity of what I want to get and who I want to get it for. Now my shopping mall experience isn't this malaise of confusion and frustration. It's almost like a military operation of precision. I go here, I go there, I get this, I get that. I'm in the car, I'm ready to go. Now, some people like something somewhere in between. One of the things I eliminated is the need to wait until Christmas to buy gifts. Like, if I see something and it encourages me to think of someone, I just get it. And sometimes I just give it to them right away because I can't wait. Or I save it till Christmas. So again, the idea is if we have that clarity of what we want, it's pretty easy to discern that which belongs and that which I should go for, I should keep, I should hold on to. So we need clarity to know what to let go of. So I come back, I release anything and everything that no longer serves my unfolding good. That sounds great. But how in the heck do I know which is the good and which isn't the good? Discernment. But how do I know? And that is the work. Now I use that word work, it makes it sound bad, but it's actually, it's one thing that's mine to do. One thing that's mine to do is to be clear on what it is I want. For my time, for my experience, what I want to give, what I want to receive. I may not get what I want to receive, but if I give you my Christmas list, my odds go up really fast. So what do I need to let go of? I need to let go of testing your love. Well, if you loved me, you'd know what I want. Are you tired of that? I'm tired of doing that to you. Like, I should let you know. If I loved you, I'd let you know what I want. And I'd be okay if you didn't get it for me. Because I'll create it. However, once I put it out there, what I want, the universe will respond. I'll find the pathway to it. So clarity helps us know what to let go of. One of the tools I use for this is what I call the theory of the greater yes. So if you have a greater yes, you never have to say no to anything. Someone asks you to do something you don't really want to do. Oh, sorry, I'm already booked. I don't have to go to that baby shower. Baby showers could be fun, but because I'm already committed to doing something else. And so that's useful in life because sometimes we just sort of float along with the flow, the current, and just take what comes our way. And we just use our power of discernment to say, well, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Hey, how to frustrate the people who care about you. You're not giving me what I want. Well, try. No, that's not it. Not it. It's my job to get the clarity, not for your job to guess what my clarity ought to be. So I let go of those ways of testing your love and affirm, I am love, I am lovable, I am loved. So as I let go of the need to pressure you, I get the second part. Let go to get clarity. Because when I drop all the tests that I have for you to show that you love me, I can start to recognize all the ways you're already showing me that you love me. For example, my first marriage, great woman, she came to the farm. I got to give her credit for that. The farm is quite an adventure. The farm is my family farm, if you don't know. But when we walked in the kitchen for the first time, there was one of my favorite things to eat, freshly baked, sitting on the kitchen table. I thought, that's good. I'm going to eat that. My wife said, wow, your mom must really love you. I did not have that clarity until that moment. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I was too busy keeping my list of all the things that my mom failed me on. You know, and by God, she ought to cook something nice for me. She got a lot of making up to do. Boy, that's a lot of pressure, isn't it? I'm sure I'm the only one that's done this to their parents, especially my mom. My dad was never there. Oh, wait. Sorry, Dad. So the part about getting clear, to let go, the thing is that it sounds good, but it's hard to outrun your own shadow, is another thing that's been bouncing around in my mind. And so the things that again, as I become aware of things, I can choose to let them go. But a lot of things I'm holding on to, I'm not aware of. So I'm golfing with my friend Tom. And Tom is an amazing golfer. He's been a member of 2 country clubs over the time, you know, when he worked. And anyway, it doesn't matter. The guy is so precise. I've never golfed with anyone that hits the ball and it goes right where he's aiming. And I said, Tom, how are you so precise? How do you get the ball to go where you want it to go? And he said to me, and honestly, I thought he was being a smartass. I'm not sure he wasn't. But what he said was, first, you have to aim. And I thought, duh. I'm aiming. I actually did a whole talk on that. You can look in the archives and find it. But I realized, after I just sort of let it sink in, that I really wasn't aiming that well. I was going through the motions of aiming and doing the best job of aiming that I knew how to do at that time. But once I started thinking about what he said, I don't know, there was a bit of an awakening. It didn't happen immediately, but it happened within a few times of golfing with him. I'm like, and all of a sudden I started aiming and I started getting different results, some of them better. Get clarity to let go. So I'm getting the clarity that what I need is to aim better, and I can let go of all the things that, well, what I really needed to let go of is the idea that I was aiming. Thank you very much. Because a lot of times I'll get that type of feedback. And the first thing I want to do is tell you how I'm already doing it. Well, you need to do this. Oh, I do that. Maybe I don't. And so what I'm encouraging you all is to look for more clarity and to challenge yourself. If you find yourself defending what you're doing, that's a clue to look for more clarity. I have a little saying, it's called, in any given moment, am I devoting my energy to creating what I want or proving that I'm okay? And if you're explaining, defending, you're proving you're okay, which you do not need to do. I'll explain why. But first, I want to talk about honesty more. So I needed to get honest about how I could learn more ways of aiming, better ways of aiming. And by the way, the part of letting go to get clarity, there's all sorts of subtleties about the way to aim. And boy, it's like sand in my fingers too. I'm like, and now I realize, I'm not aiming. Golf is challenging. And you know what else is challenging? Life. So, are you aiming? And how are, not are you aiming? That's the other thing I talked about last time I was here. Spirituality is life. One of the key things is, can we shift away from if questions to how questions? Not if I'm aiming, whether I'm aiming or not, kind of a yes or no, but how am I aiming? How am I aiming? Whenever I shift to how questions, I really open up the possibility of curiosity and exploration. How am I aiming? So I ask yourself, let's get honest. Are we even Christian? You know, is unity, if you practice unity, are you a Christian? And so, again, if we go with the if, yes, no, most people would say no. At least most Christians, because why? There's some fundamental difference in how we are Christians. For example, most folks, and my aunt told me once about the very rigid requirements of what you need to do. You got to believe in the Immaculate Conception. You got to believe Jesus was the unique Son of God on earth, and divine and human at the same time, and that he died to cleanse our sins as a surrogate sacrifice for the fact that we were born defective. In sin, they like to say. I reject those ideas. Those don't fit for me. The picture's in the chapel. Oh, no, there it is. There it is. You know, it's even possible that Jesus of Nazareth, that we call Jesus of Christ, it's possible that he never even lived. It's possible. It doesn't really matter, though, because there's a body of wisdom associated with his life that is extremely useful to me living my life. I believe in the teachings of the man we call Jesus. I see him as a way shower, just like my golf buddy Tom is a way shower, only much bigger. Tom's not a big guy, but I believe in that message that is associated with Jesus. So if that makes me a Christian, I'm a Christian. But I do not believe in a God that would have to sacrifice his son to wash away my guilt. That is a story that just does not resonate with my spirit. So I eliminate that. But the thing is that we don't have to talk about that with other Christians. One is they don't come here. One time they did. There was a group of young folks, and they sat right here in the front row back when we had the other seats. All these young teenagers, and I thought, oh, this is great. The youth movement's kicking off. And then afterwards, they talked to me. It turned out they were a missionary force from the Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. And they were sent here to see Satan incarnate. Go see what the crazy stuff that, because they said, we're studying about, such and such in class, and they said, go see those unity people, you'll see an example of what we're talking about. I have no judgment. I think it's funny. And the thing is that what I want to look at isn't what they believe versus what we believe, because I can go crazy getting distracted trying to suss that out. That's my word of the month, suss. Figure that out, right? But the fact is, why don't we just look at what we have in common? First of all, we're all human beings, and we're all trying to find meaning and purpose in our life. And if that works for them, great. I believe that each of us has both the privilege and the responsibility to define our own idea of God and define our relationship with that idea of God. I'm clear on that. And so what does that look like? I mean, we might just say, instead of are we Christian, are we Jewish? I mean, or how are we Jewish? Because quite frankly, the difference between unity and traditional Christianity today might be similar to what Jesus' disciples and how they were different from the traditional Jewish people at their time. Who knows? They were definitely a break-off sect, right? A new way of looking at God. We've actually kind of picked up on that, and somehow the other story got strong. So, how are we Christian is the question, not if we are Christian. And the point of that example, though, is like, are we willing to be more honest? And you'd say, well, I'm already honest. Yeah, I thought I was aiming, too. But I wasn't as well as I could be. So the question isn't if I'm honest, but how am I honest, and how could I be more honest with myself? Because if I'm able to be more honest, I can get more clarity. And if I get more clarity, like I can be honest that I'm difficult sometimes. Nikki could get honest and say, a little more, all the time. No, I'm not difficult all the time, but I can be. One of the times I realized this week, the times I'm most difficult is when I'm a little confused, because I can't find the clarity. And sometimes it frustrates me. I'm just sort of realizing that in the moment, because as you let go of things like my need to defend how great I am or how honest I am or how good I am, once I let go of that, other things begin to appear that I didn't even see before. Let's talk about the base of the spine. So when I look, by the way, if you go to unity.org, they got some great materials on the 12 powers and the 5 principles. Good stuff. That's where you can find out about Thaddeus. That's where I check in, make sure I got things right. The color, it's all there. It's very nicely done. It's useful if you're into that. I'm into it a little bit. A little bit. What was I talking about? So the 12 powers. Oh, the base of the spine. The base of the spine. The lower abdomen. And I thought, my God, why don't we just euphemize this a little bit more? We know where elimination happens in the body, don't we? But nobody wants to say it. It's the lower abdomen. No, it isn't. It's a little bit lower. It's a little bit lower. But then I got to give credit to my cohort, Nikki. I'm talking about that, and I'm saying, yeah, I think I might want to expose this lack of honesty. Even in unity, we won't be honest about the lower abdomen. And she goes, oh, it sounds about right to me, she says, or something like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, she just disrupted my complaint. And I had to let go of the complaint. And I started to get clarity. And the clarity that I got this morning from that was, the lower abdomen is the critical thing in elimination. I mean, eventually there's an exit, okay? But before the exit, it's the thing we've been talking about for the last few minutes, is that how do I figure out what is good and what is not good? How do I figure it out? Well, my intestines are a perfect example of that, because I dump in anything, and I mean anything that tastes good, right? And some things that don't taste good, just to prove I'll eat them. And then my body discerns what is good for me. And it takes the good and it integrates it into my being. And that which is not good for me, it eliminates. For the most part, a very good system. So I could learn a lot about discernment from my gut feelings, my intuition. See, as I let go of my judgments, clarity emerges. Is that cool or what? So, let's see, where am I? I'm almost finished. Only because I'm running out of time, not because I haven't got more to say. It's good stuff. Get clarity to let go. Figure out. And by the way, put some responsibility on you to get clear. That's the power of will. The power of will is where we choose. We choose what's important to us. We choose what we want to do. We choose what we believe. We use our power of will. When we get clear, we know what isn't. And so there's so much about this talk that I could go into about all the distractions that show up in our life that are part of that shadow that we're trying to outrun, the habits. For example, I'll give you one example of how insidious the shadow is. The shadow knows, okay? So I made a decision that I wanted to get balance, not in my spiritual life, forget that, but in my physical life. Because all my life, this leg can do things that this leg, say it can now, but couldn't do. And it still can't do everything this leg can do. The hips are different. And I've been working on getting balance between them. And I recognized, I got an awareness, I got clarity that the way I was driving was affecting my balance. Now, we're already set up for a bit of, I don't want to call it failure, but challenge. Because when you drive, this foot does this type of thing, and this foot just hangs around, doesn't do anything. Freeloader, all right? Okay, so it got to the point where I had a real physical problem, so I needed to do something. But eventually, so I started to do things. Again, so I let go of complaining and I started to take action. Clarity, let go. And then once I let go, I started seeing other areas where I could create balance. And then I recognized the way I drive. I'll try to simulate it. Most of you can see me. Maybe all of you can see me if I sit over here. So I was driving like this. You know? Because like that little thing where the window is just a perfect place to put your elbow. You know, I'm like, yeah. And so what I recognized all of a sudden is like, man, I am really tilting my spine, and that is putting pressure on this hip that this hip's not getting. If I really want that balance, I've got to change the way, my posture. It's basically a posture thing, right? So I started doing it, and it's like, that and a bunch of other things, I started to get much more balance. But then all of a sudden, I'm driving the other day, and elbows up again. I mean, if I could complain for a minute, it's kind of a setup. I mean, that thing is just right there begging my elbow to get on it. It just falls right on there, and I'm like, oh, shit, shucks, I'm doing it again. I almost eliminated there. And I'm glad you're laughing, because it takes a lot of acceptance to get honest and to start to see the places where, oh my God, I've been holding on to that habit. So one of the things about letting go to get clarity, as I wrap this up, okay, is that we've got this background noise going on in our consciousness, because we're talking about letting go of ideas that don't serve us. And we've got all this background noise, all the things my mom and dad did, all the things my brothers and sisters do. And I play the tape, the soundtrack of my mind, with all these stories. And you know, the memory of it is the distraction from my good. And then the telling of the story is my alibi. I'd really be something if my mom hadn't done that. And I'd really be something if my brother hadn't done that. Let it go. First, you got to recognize it. And it's like, okay, what do I want? What is my highest good? And by the way, it's going to change. Mine's already changed a couple times a day, because as you let go of the things that have been distracting you, you're going to get increasing clarity of, this is what's really important to me. And by gosh, you deserve to start now. You know, we're all in different places in our journey, but there's no time like the present to get clarity, to let go, and let go to get clarity. And that's a wrap.